Hey guys, so this actually is probably going to be the most important video I currently have and possibly will ever put on this channel in regards to mods, and that is the offense versus crit damage debate. What you should prioritize, what to look for, things like that. Um, Mainly because you're actually very limited on what mods are like S tier, God tier, and stuff like that. If you look at like health mods, which only require two mods to get a set besides offense and crit damage, which require four, health mods, you could look at squares are constant, uh, even arrows to a certain extent. Once you get further in the game, you don't actually need speed arrows all the time. You can get other things. But with health, look at triangles. Health with offense primary. There's plenty of tunes that need that. Health with health. Oh my God. If you're currently going through what I am with healers and I'm doing a Sirajunda team right now, health on health is so important that you will never have enough of those. Health with protection. You get a tank that has protection recovery in their kit or max protection. Useful. Health with, health crit damage. Since health only needs two, even if it's offense, crit damage, speed, or whatever, if you need a little extra damage, health and crit damage is great. Let's see. Health with defense. Once you get later in the game, defense does kind of become a thing for certain events, certain characters. So even health with defense primary. Pretty much no matter what mod it is with things like health, you could find a use. Cross, health, offense. Health and offense go hand in hand so much because if you're ever doing an offense set, health is going to be your other two mods 95% of the time. So health, offense, you could always find a home. Health on health, like I said, never going to not need that. Health and protection, always good. Health and tenacity. Need a little extra tenacity, always good. Health potency. You get the idea. You could always find a home for whatever health primary mod you have. So when you have a health mod, you just pretty much can look at the secondaries. With offense and crit damage, you have to look at the primaries before you can even contemplate the secondaries. So, triangles, for instance. If you're doing offense or crit damage, that means you want your character to hit hard. That means there's only two useful primaries, regardless of speed on your secondary or anything else. Before you can even look at that, if you really want like an S tier good mod, it can only be offense or crit damage. Anything else is a lower tier mod, like it drops down dramatically. Because if you, like I said, if you're doing offense crit damage, you want the character to hit hard. So you don't want offense with a protection primary, offense with a health primary. If you want a health primary, just do 3 sets of health. Stuff like that. You get it. Cross. The cross is probably the biggest thing. Only offense primary is what you want, pretty much. There's very few outliers. Things like Embo, who has a ability that does more damage based on max protection. So if you get a good protection primary, you can make it work. But 95% of the time, if it's not an offense cross for offense or crit damage, it's going to be a lower tier. Circle, you're only going to either get health or protection. If you look at the breakdown with like the best players in the game with health and protection with attackers, it's usually like a 60%, 40% split. So whichever one you choose isn't as big a deal. But not only do you need speed, you need offense percent, whether you're doing offense or crit damage set. You need offense percent, speed, and then rarely but preferably flat offense as well. So that needing 2 to 3, like, not just good secondaries but specific secondaries, limits your S tier mod capability. What was that? Diamonds, of course, always going to be defense primary. So speed and offense percent. Cross is already offense primary, which is like your only safe space, where if you just have speed, you're not wrong. Arrows, the later you get in the game, I think I've said that in most of my videos, you branch out. Doing an offense set with damage or a health on health set with certain tanks and stuff like that becomes more prevalent. The thing with offense, like, it's usually offense, health, and crit damage, crit chance. It's 4 mods with 2 mods. So, like I said, cross and triangle are the hardest to get great ones for. But say you do those with crit chance because they're easier to get because you only need 2. That means your other 4 mod sets have to be great. Or if you have just an okay one, but it has offense, which makes it better automatically, but doesn't have as much speed or doesn't have as much flat offense, something like that, you have to make up with it with all the other mods. Which is why, since these 2 mod sets require like so much more to be great besides just meh, that I always recommend just farming one at a time. Either farm strictly offense or strictly crit damage for a set period of time so you can get a good pool to farm. Otherwise, sure, you may have some of one, some of the other, but it's going to be so much harder to get good ones, and you need 4 good ones to make the set. And then when it comes to that, I always lean towards offense almost every time, and I'll tell you why. Let me back out of this real quick so I can see if I can. So, offense is almost always better because it's used on more toons. If you read all of your toons' abilities, a lot of them go off special offense, which is fine, like physical damage, special damage. Some toons do one, some do another. The thing with crit damage, though, is look at your physical offense with crit chance and your special offense with crit chance. You could have 200-something% crit damage. Special offense doesn't crit as much. And that's pretty much on every toon regardless. Like, let me back out, give you guys an example. Sort by special damage. My Ben Solo has the most special damage in the game. I do offense on offense on offense, and that is because, can I move? There we go. So 9.6k physical offense, almost 17,000 special offense. But look at his crit chance. Physical offense, 65%, crit chance, 44%. So it's less likely he will crit when using an ability that uses special offense. That's why it's better to just flat hit harder, because your crit is a little less likely. And since he's special damage oriented and he still doesn't get as much crit chance, things like that are why I gear towards offense more. And just to give you an idea on what I mean, let me look at offense on offense. So these are all of my offense with offense primary and how important I see it is. But if you look closer, like even mods I have assigned, a purple mod with 5 speed, 9 times out of 10 that's garbage. But offense mod with offense primary is so important, especially with things like cross and triangle. You can forego some speed on those and make up for the speed in your other areas, just because how ideal it is. Because even, let me back out and show everything. Sort by offense percent, but only offense percent secondary. So I'll show you my best offense percent secondary. It's on Padawan Obi, 8%. That is damn near unheard of. Let me look at my second one, 7.7. So you already can see there's a decent drop off. It is hard to get a good offense percent secondary, which is why the primaries are so sought after. Because even if you get a good percent roll on a secondary, even though it's only 1.5%, that's what, 20% difference between 8.5% and 7% on this mod. So I will say, to each their own. Like, even I have, let me get rid of that. I do have some decent crit damage mods. Some tunes do better with it. But personally, I will say I think offense is more versatile. If you're going to get a good tune with a good offense or crit damage set, you need to prioritize just one of them. So if you want to farm offense for like a month and then crit damage for a month, see what you get, that's one thing. But I wouldn't go like day to day, only farm offense, only farm crit damage. Because you may get 1 or 2 decent ones, but are you going to get 4 good mods to put on a good tune to get a good set? That's more unlikely. Just my 2 cents, guys. But regardless of what you're farming, what you prioritize, I do think this is probably the most important thing to think about when you get into the higher levels of mod farming and mod slicing. Sorry. But yeah, just something to think about, and I will see y'all in the next video.